Now, in this episode, we're going to look at Tuscany. However, before we get there, I need to touch on two important wine regions that make up central or north central Italy. I would be remiss if I didn't at least mention them, and they're delicious and internationally popular wines. So here comes Tuscany and central Italy. Are you ready? Come on, let's go. Hey there, Posse. I'm Pierre, and welcome to Asti Wine Consultants. As we're learning more about wine together, we're going to look at one of the most popular wine regions in the world, Tuscany. But before we get there, we're going to take a quick look at two other wine regions that make up central Italy's wine industry. The two regions are Abruzzo and Umbria. Now keep in mind, at any time, if you like what you hear, click like, subscribe, and hit the little bell so you'll be notified when there's a new post. Also, make sure you share this with your friends. I'm sure they'd appreciate it. Alright, Abruzzo and Umbria. They're two neighboring regions located in central Italy, and both are known for their quality wine production. Abruzzo is in a hilly region that lies along the Adriatic coast. The climate is influenced by the sea and the nearby Appian Mountains, which protect the vineyards from harsh winds. The region is mainly known for the production of Montepulciano di Abruzzo, a red wine made from the Montepulciano grape varietal. Umbria, on the other hand, is landlocked and lies to the north of Abruzzo. The region has varied terrain with hills, valleys, and plains, and the climate is continental, which means it's cold winters and hot summers. Now, the most famous wine produced in Umbria is Sagrantino di Montefalco, a red wine made from the Sagrantino grape varietal, and there's also a white wine, the Orvieto, which is made from the Trebbiano and the Grecchito grape varietals. As far as the wines are concerned, while there are hundreds of different wines to select from, I'm going to narrow it down. If you're looking to buy wine from Abruzzo, I would recommend trying a bottle of Montepulciano di Abruzzo. Now, besides being a really fantastic wine, I just love to say the word Montepulciano. Montepulciano. Anyhow, that's a little bit of my Italian. This is the most famous and most important and most widely planted grape varietal and wine from that particular region. It's a dark, thick-skinned grape. The wine is deep in color, rich and full-bodied with notes of dark fruit and spices and a slight hint of bitterness. You cannot go wrong with Montepulciano. Now, if you prefer white wine, try a bottle of Trebbiano di Abruzzo or Piconero. Both are crisp and refreshing with citrus and floral notes. The Trebbiano is the most widely planted white grape in Abruzzo. Now, when it comes to the wines of Umbria, I'd recommend trying a bottle of Sagrantino di Montefalco. It's the star of Umbria's wine scene and the region's most famous wine. This is a bold, full-bodied red with high tannins and bold, complex flavors of black fruit like blackberries and black cherry, and some spices. It's used to produce red wines like Torrigiano, Russo Reserva. Actually, Sangiovese is grown in both regions and used to produce a variety of red wines, including the Torrigiano, Russo Rivera. Now, if you prefer white wines, try a bottle of Orvieto like the Trebbiano from Abruzzo. Orvieto is made with the same grape and has, in essence, the same taste profile. Both Abruzzo and Umbria has a long history of winemaking and have developed unique wine styles that reflect their distinct terroir, and traditions. These wines are highly regarded both locally and internationally, and they make a great addition to any wine lover's collection. Folks, don't be afraid to explore and try something new. Hey, how are you doing there? Are you beginning to get a handle on wines of central Italy, and are you ready for Tuscany? If you are, write Asti in the comments below. Now, when it comes to Tuscany, let's take a look at the dominant grape varietal there, Super Tuscans, and which grape varietals or wines we should buy. Tuscany is one of Italy's most famous wine regions, located in central Italy along the western coast. The geography of Tuscany is characterized by rolling hills, vineyards, and olive groves. In addition to wine and vines, Tuscany is a romantic, fantastically romantic setting with all sorts of things you can do. Anything from learning how to cook the Italian way, visiting crystal factories and outlets, learning how to make pasta and cheese, seeing the sights of 200, 300, 2,000-year-old cities and villages, castles and estates, and of course, visiting vineyards and making wine. Besides all this, for me, the most wonderful thing is strolling through a cobblestone street of ancient small villages, taking in the sights, having lunch at a sidewalk cafe, visiting with people over a glass of wine. Now, the region has a Mediterranean climate with warm summers and mild winters, which is ideal for grape growing. The soil is also diverse, ranging from clay and sand to limestone and volcanic rock, which gives Tuscany's wines their unique character. Now, overall, Tuscany is a beautiful and diverse wine region with a rich history and many world-class, world-renowned wines to discover. Now, the primary grape varietal of Tuscany is Sangiovese, which is the backbone of many of the region's most famous wines, including Chianti, Brunello di Montesino, and Vino Nobile di Montepulciano. These wines are typically medium body with high acidity, firm tannins, and flavors of cherry, strawberry, and some herbs. Tuscany is also known for Super Tuscans. Super Tuscan wines, which are blends that often include international grape varietals. Super Tuscans, this is something that we really need to spend a few moments talking about because they are renegade wines. Now, the term Super Tuscan refers to a category of Tuscan wines that did not conform to traditional regional winemaking laws. These wines are often made with grape varietals that did not originate in Italy, such as Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, and Syrah. These non-indigenous grapes were blended with Sangiovese or other local grapes. Now, Super Tuscans were first produced in the 1970s and 80s and took the wine world by storm. A handful of winemakers broke free from the Chianti strict regulations. They began to experiment with different grape varietals, winemaking techniques, and aging processes. Super Tuscans are typically full-bodied and rich with ripe fruit flavors, high tannins, and a long finish. They often undergo extended oak aging, which contributes to their complex and layered characters. Now, some of the most famous Super Tuscans are Sassicaia, Tianello, some people call it Tiganello, but it's Tianello, and Ornellaia. So the question is, of the hundreds of wines out there, which wines do I buy from Tuscany? I'll do some reds and then we'll talk about some whites. Now, the reds, as I said, the key wine coming out of Tuscany is Sangiovese. So naturally, the wines you want to buy would be Sangiovese and may have other wines that make up, and other grapes that make the wine up. Like the Brunello di Montesino is a full-body red wine with complex flavors of red and black fruits, earth and spice. It's aged for a minimum of 5 years before it's being released into the market, which gives it a unique depth and complexity. Now also Chianti, and particularly Chianti Classico, are probably the two best known wines from the Sangiovese grape. They're both a medium-bodied red wine with flavors of cherry, plum, earth notes, and herbs. The Classico is aged for 12 months, which gives it a smooth and balanced flavor profile. Now Sangiovese goes great with rich, flavorful dishes like roasted meats and tomato-based sauces, plus pasta dishes, pizza, and all kinds of grilled meats. Beyond Sangiovese, I recommend Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, and Syrah, either standing by themselves or blended into a super Tuscan. The Cabernet Sauvignon is full body with rich tannins, black fruit flavors, and herbal notes. The Merlot is medium bodied and brings with it soft tannins, flavors of black cherry, plum, and chocolate. I love the Merlot. The Syrah is full body with spicy, peppery black fruit flavors and firm tannins. Now when blended together, these wines are absolutely incredible. Now as far as the whites are concerned, you should look for the Vermentino, the Trebbiano, and the Vernaccia de San Giammano. Vermentino is grown in the coastal areas of Tuscany. These wines are crisp and refreshing with citrus and tropical fruit notes. Trebbiano wines are typically lighter body with high acidity and flavors of green apple and lemon. This grape is grown in the San Giammano area. It's dry and crisp with high acidity, citrus, and floral aromas and flavors of green apple and pear. When buying Tuscan wines, it's important to consider the style and the taste profile you prefer. Now I've named only a handful here. This is a great start, but there are hundreds of others that you can select from as you get more involved with wines from Tuscany and Central Italy. Well, there you have it. Everything you need to know to start tasting wines from Tuscany and Central Italy. Until next time, cheers. Hey Posse, thanks so much for investing the time to watch this video. I trust it was helpful to you. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. And please consider hitting subscribe. Also, click here to check out our new online shop. We have a great lineup of wine-related items that will help you get the most out of your wine experience. Oh, and be sure to check out these other videos. Until next time, cheers.